Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Pillage, slight change in Pillage, and a review of the CM Diary that we briefly touched on Friday. And let me go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. Somebody's got a little extra noise, but sounds like that's been taken care of. From left to right, Magic Mike,
Hello, everybody.
Lady Cat,
Hello.
Jeff,
Hello.
and Aussie.
Good morning.
So I'm going to put Lady Cat on present, and we can start the slides and move along and talk about what's going on this week.
Ooh, I want those shoes. Oh, sorry.
So long-awaited return of the Battle Pirates HQ. At least Android seems to be working. And the Apple people are still gotta wait. It sounds like.
Yep. But we're used to it now.
Yeah. So I haven't tried myself because I really didn't use it that much, and I have limited memory on my phone. Because I think I need to re-update it or something. I've heard it's not exactly stable, but at least they're making steps to get it back up and running. So, any experience with this, anybody?
Yeah, it's doing what it should do, attacking targets and repairing and all the basic stuff, but just pops up at random error messages here and there
Okay.
and freezes for some people.
So adds a little more excitement to the game.
It's like the rest of the game now; it's consistent.
Yeah. There you go. Was anybody unable to access Titan Awakening? I mean, this is like, okay, it seems like it should have come out earlier. Like, we don't have this. So, I guess in the future, I don't know. Some of these bug fixes, I can't wait till August 1st when the QA person comes back so we can get explanation of some of this stuff. Fixed a bug. Oh, yeah, our favorite bug has been fixed. So I guess that means you can now rename your fleets. Anybody try to do that?
No,
They stopped. Okay. I think the way I read this is you can rename your fleets.
Yes.
Okay.
I just clicked on one and yes, you can.
Okay. So before it would completely repair your fleet. So
I missed out.
Well, that sounds good. That's better. I prefer to repair my whole fleet than change the name.
yeah.
I would change the name if it repaired, but sadly nobody told me about that glitch.
They found it pretty quickly.
I bet they did.
Yeah. It seems that previously the HT transformer, the directional turrets, didn't provide remote targeting for the Gorgon, and that appears to be fixed at this point. It's too hard to tell on my base because where I have mine positioned, it would mainly revolve around the older ones that are in my bubble pad. So,
But if you've got an ops gun on there, that usually outranges everything anyway.
it depends on your positioning. Depends on your positioning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usually would.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of turrets in my bubble pad, so they tended to provide the spotting of Gorgon personally. Fixed for players that ended up with invalid road crews. Okay. This brings up another issue, which I hear is getting reported up. If anybody's rolled for road crews since the update, it appears that the only 2-star crew that still shows up anywhere is the Bullseye Brigade, which is next to impossible to get. I'm talking about when you roll and see the circling things, and nobody's able to get the 2-star crews or the 1-star Steelhead at this point, and this is an issue that they're looking at this point in time. No word whether it's intentional or since the update. Go ahead.
I got 3 grease monkeys tonight.
Yeah, the 2-star crews. Yeah, the 3-star crews appear to be unaffected, but the 2-star crews appear to be an issue at this point. And the most important of those would probably be the triple salty.
Yep.
So,
Very important.
well, especially since the main prize in Pillage. I'm still not sure how people are supposed to rank this besides just straight cash. So, okay. Let's see what's next. Yeah, this is still an unresolved issue that I want to bring up until they fix it or make some sort of decision on it. Guard fleets are not supposed to be allowed to be attacked by interceptors. As far as I know, this is still the case. So don't put your guard fleet out unless you're, I don't know. I'm not sure what a good guard fleet is to have against the interceptors, but don't leave it unattended.
Gunboat, doorbell. That's all you can have anymore.
Mickey said there was a shipwreck event that gave out VXP tokens. They gave out
Yes.
They gave out VXP tokens for the steel plate.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Oh, it's that very first shipwreck event. Very first one.
Like months earlier. Okay, that's or
They gave out
okay.
VXP and upgrade tokens for the Silverfish.
The steel plate is what I'm talking about.
They gave out for the steel plate as well.
Okay.
Because
All
I've got VXP, not enough to rank it, but enough to more than I'd probably get on cargo.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's move on and see what's going on. All right, the assault/skirmish calendar. We're in Pillage right now. Next week, already we have the raid, followed by our normal FM. Well, we don't know if there's going to be changes to the FM. This is where I really expect changes to the FM targets or a change in the economy. VXP weekend and assault world map target transition. So the targets that you normally use to get titanium are they've already semi-transitioned, with the 95s. I'm not sure what aren't the 95s meant for, what were they meant for? Because those are new.
I don't know, unless they're just going to get rid of the others. The old targets.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. And then the next July 23rd, we'll have Bounty and Player Inventory Stash. I guess they're going to be allowing us to see our kits without an shipyard. So I guess they decided they made enough money off of this at this point to let us know what we have and what we should or should not purchase. So the 95 is from the Mana Cores, but it's a new target. I don't know. All right. Any thoughts on the calendar? Okay.
No.
All right.
That's as far as we've got. Do we have any information for?
No, we haven't got anything past 3 weeks from now. It's I can only provide what they give. I can make up stuff, but that probably wouldn't be beneficial.
Yeah, probably not. But
Yeah. Might be interesting, but
might be more fun.
Yeah. I could fight to the death with that it's actually true until it actually happened. So, all right. Well, let's move on if nobody has anything else on the calendar. Pillage. Yeah. This is Pillage, 5 or something like that?
I don't know. I quit counting.
Yeah. I don't know how many we've got. But let's go. We've seen some changes in the Pillage. So let's go ahead and originally what was intended, well, I'm sorry, I jumped to the assumption based on their previous actions that we would lose the skirmish targets, which everybody liked. They were our favorite. So we lost that, and we kept the siege, and they added in garrison. And then last night, they realized that the player response was like, okay, well, we haven't finished the Praetorians because you haven't given us all the tech for it. And then they decided to pull it out of the set and keep the same value of the relative value with the bonus of the 2 Eradicator ones. I'm sorry, the 2 Siege ones, which players tend to hate after what happened with the PvE refactor. With the splash damage reduction and whatnot. And I know a lot of players have melted down their strikes. And they pulled the Praetorian out as a separate target. And no set bonus associated with it. So it's actually, in reality, worth half as much as the two siege targets. So the 124 is worth 5,000 straight up. The other 2 are 5,000 each plus 10,000, so they're actually worth 10,000 each if you complete. As we move down, the 67 is a new target. It's the 120 from the FM that appears to do.
It's amped up a bit.
Yeah, it appears to do slightly more damage.
Because we so wanted to do the FM at the same time that we do Pillage.
Yeah.
FM.
I got almost an hour damage on mine. That's
Mhm.
nowhere near what it normally got on a 120. Sorry.
Can you? We won't let you put Praetorians in there, will it?
No. But at least for the people that have 1 or 2 Praetorians that are slightly built, you can use those in the FM and the Inferno Dragons on these targets. The downside is, you're taking, I hit 2. Last one I took 25 minutes of damage. So it was basically instant repair in the base, but not instant repair on the map. I still have 17 days of tokens for the regular one and 7 or 10, I forget, 7 or 10 for the flag, the Greta. So I can probably bring that down to, but still, I don't see instant repair on the map.
It enters you into a different spot too.
And Hefe, you also have your Greta at least at U3.
Yes, I do.
And some of us decided not to do that because we had the Praetorian coming, so there was no sense in spending time on old technology because we weren't going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have never, ever in a million years have thought we would have needed it for Pillage. Sorry, my cat just...
Your cat started talking and we can also hear it. That's amazing. Is this
she stepped on the keyboard, but yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if we're all involved in a group hallucination. And then the Hydra target is, I recommend Hydras. As far as I know, has remained the same.
It is the same.
Okay. Which, if you
auto
repair, you can't auto, but
No.
you can hit a couple before you need instant repair on the map. I would recommend doing it every time, but you can instant repair on the map with that one. So this has replaced the Prototype Seeker target, which was you could auto like 3 of them before you needed to repair on the map, if properly built at all. So I don't know. It's
So I'm glad they didn't finish the app, fixing the app for us Apple users, since we couldn't have used it anyway to auto these targets.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And so that's going to give you 5,000 per set in total. That's the way I'm going to look at it, because the Eradicator Shrike targets actually seem to take so long, and you're guaranteed damage on those ones. So I don't know. Where's everybody going? I assume nobody's hitting with icebreakers for, carpal tunnel is the prize.
Yeah.
I'm going to try the Praetorian thing in the 124 and see what happens.
Yeah, I see Ben says he's getting about 20 minutes of damage on 4 Prats, no armor in the 124.
Oh, it might be a try. Yeah.
Okay, but the issue with that is you're getting, you're getting 5,000 per target on that one. With the lower level, you're getting 2,500 all together with those targets. The 101 and the 102, you're getting 10,000 per target with completion of the set. So it's not a high value target at this point.
I'm looking for lowest repair costs.
Yeah, lowest
Myself.
coin for me too.
Well,
Time.
relative to time, yeah,
Yeah,
to time to it.
Because my Greta's or my Infernos, like I said, it entered from the spot I'm not accustomed to entering, and I went ahead and did it anyway, and I came out with 58 minutes. So it wasn't a normal driving pattern that I would have, but it was more damage than. I essentially did it the same way, just not starting in the same spot, which changes a little bit. It sounds like I'm trying to make excuses. I'm not. I'm just telling you what happened. So it might be like a 40-minute target, not an hour target if I drove it right. But it's still far more than it used to be for me. Go ahead.
Okay, and you're talking about the 67 or?
Yes. That's
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And in the beginning, it wouldn't even let me go into the target. And I don't know, I refreshed and then I could, but I was able to go in the hydro target 63 right off the bat. So I wasn't sure what was going on.
There was an issue.
There
was an issue with launching, yeah.
Yeah, it was the other way around. Sorry. It was the hydro target I couldn't enter.
Oh, okay. All right. Was somebody else trying to add something? Okay. I think a couple people, Jeff, you want to give it another click. This is the 124 target that Aussie sent me. The artwork seems to be what we saw with our original Hydras. These are siege looking
Mountains?
Recycled all the artwork.
Yeah. But from a different place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody that's hit it seen the advantage of the tortoise formation?
Has anybody had it that even can do the tortoise formation?
I don't know. It's one of those, I'm not wearing my yoga pants tonight, but
What's a
I
tortoise?
saved that for Friday. What?
I don't know. You just lost me.
The tortoise formation is the special ability of the Empyrean Praetorium.
Oh,
Oh, that was a leap.
I missed that somewhere.
No. Why is that a leap?
No,
I
just
just missed
thinking of the Romans from just the name of the boat. Yeah.
Okay. No, but the name of the special is the tortoise formation, and basically, the way that's supposed to work is if you have 3 enemy targets within 50 range, and you have your other ships within 50 range, you get all these bonuses.
Oh, I remember that.
So I'm just not sure if this target really provides any insight to what our new FM targets are going to be like. It seems, I don't know, forget the artwork. It seems a little bit more wide open. And what are those ships? Are there monoliths, Aussie?
Yes, I'm in one at the moment, and they seem to fire a whole bunch of. There's a mega stream of missiles or whatever they are. They should be explosive, being a monolith, but they look more like missiles, and it's a constant stream of like 4.
But they're ballistic like mortars because they're not aiming at your ship. They're splashing the water behind you constantly.
Yeah,
so they are mortars, and they're just keeping you moving. You can't auto these targets. I think that was on purpose. These things would just level anybody that isn't filled with hails.
Yeah,
because there's so many of them, and it's a constant stream.
Yeah,
I've never been hit by the stream yet. I don't want to find out.
Looks like there's 5 in a row, but yeah, it's just a constant stream. They're like a split second behind each other.
Yeah. It's pretty. It looks like fireworks for a 4th of
Yeah,
July.
it is. It's pretty. Yeah. Like I say, I've only got one Praetorian, so this probably isn't going to end well. No, actually, no. I'm one Praetorian, and I'm nearly finished, and it's got less than quarter of a damage.
Yeah, I think actually 1 might take less damage than 4 if you keep moving,
Yeah,
which is kind
pretty
of
much
fun.
So
just
you're
got
saying you
3
gotta
ships left.
You got to drive that target. Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's they made that perfectly clear that
Okay.
driving is essential in this one.
All right.
Because if you sit still, it looks like that stream will just erase you.
Yeah.
Benjamin says that sprints are shooting him down.
Yeah, so that means, well, splints do rockets, missiles.
No.
I don't know that they do mortars.
That's the
No,
weird part.
missile.
Then why are they splashing behind us if they're not mortars?
Okay.
Well,
My
mortars are dumbfire as well. It's just the
Hang
projectile
on.
speed versus distance.
But missiles always splash near your boat, no matter what. They track you.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
yes.
MDS3s are trying to shooting them down. But I've only got one ship, so they can't shoot a lot of them down.
So they must be missiles then.
No, I keep on hearing it sounds like at this point that they're long-range rockets, but from what people are saying, between Ben saying the sprints shoot them down and the fact that they're splashing behind your ship, makes it sound like rockets.
Yeah, actually, that makes
My
total sense now. That's
Hang
why
on,
the sprints are
MDS
shooting them down. That's why they're splashing behind. That's why they're
Do
flying.
MDSs shoot rockets down?
No.
Then they ain't rockets because my MDSs are shooting them down.
Okay. So they're dumbfire missiles.
Dumbfire missiles.
No. It's happened
Is that
before.
a thing?
It's happened before.
Yeah, old technology.
Yeah.
They recycled this target. Why not their weapons from?
And they're also traveling through the air really slowly, and missiles usually go fast.
Okay, I got one.
So that sounds
One
what they
more.
are, is dumbfire missiles, which is kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah, in theory. But yeah, the dividing line between a rocket and a missile is, it's a fine line. So these aren't guided missiles.
Yeah, I guess missiles
Okay, now it's taken over quarter damage.
don't have to be guided.
Okay. So
So
there's
tell me what you got in damage for that one boat, because that'll be interesting to see if your one boat
just
is.
about finished. Yeah. All right. Let's have a look. That should be it. Yep.
And also take if you explain what your battle report shows as far as the type of
Yeah.
damage that
Just
you're
coming up now.
taking. Okay.
Just coming up.
Oh,
Do you
shoot.
want to screen share it, or do you want to?
Okay. Penetrative damage is the main one I took.
Mhm.
Of the 23% taken, 38 resisted, 8% evaded. Explosive 10% taken. So they've got to be penetrative. It's got to be some sort of penetrative because that's the main thing that was hitting behind me.
Do you want to send me a screenshot, and I will send me a screenshot, and I'll add it to that slide.
What am I doing?
So they must be unguided missiles, whatever that is.
Yeah, dumbfire missiles. We used to have them in our bases, and there's some. But yeah, if you can send me a screenshot of that, I will add it to that slide. And
It's coming.
okay. No, I'm just explaining to everybody why there's a little pause here.
It's got to travel halfway around the world to get here.
Yeah. Let's see. Alrighty.
Literally.
Okay, I took 2 coins, 48 minutes, 1 second.
Oh, that's
But
pretty good.
that's only my first run at one. Obviously, I could probably do better.
Because I was taking 48 minutes with 4.
Yeah, but in one way, in 4, you split that over 4. It's actually less time because you can cut 5 minutes off each one if you're in your base and doing it.
Okay. Lady Cat, can you refresh? And the interesting part is you're also taking corrosive. Did you run through There's no clouds.
Hang on. Did I take corrosive? I didn't even look at that. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Corrosive?
Yeah,
That's what it says.
and he resisted some of it, which is even more fascinating.
That's just weird.
Sorry.
So we have
Well,
no.
he has no
It's actually-
corrosion resistance. So
Somebody guessed there might be 3 damage types in the next FM, and I guess they were right.
how did he resist any of it?
Must be land-based torpedoes.
Okay, so I haven't got any gales on there.
That might make sense that he's resisted it through the whatever siege type battery he has on there.
Hang on, I'll just
The turret defense, but it's only doing a small portion of it. So
oh, there it is.
Lovely.
That is weird. I wish we knew if these were the FM targets.
Yeah, but see, I've got the explosive battery on there, so that's nothing.
well, except for turret defense, and I'm not sure that counts for this. Turret defense should reduce it because explosive refers to your damage going out, not your defenses. Because you know that would only shows turret defense, not because that's generic. Whether you had corrosive or explosive or whatnot, the defense remains the same. It's the damage that changes. The damage, your damage, the damage that you do changes. Your offense.
Yeah. Well, see, also the MDS3s only do missile and UAV, so pretty much the whole thing's missile based. So those projectiles coming off the monoliths are a missile based type something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah.
Unguided.
Well, that's all I can shoot down is missiles. I can't shoot because I haven't got any gales on there at all. I put 2 MDSs on it, 3s on it instead.
Okay.
Because you can usually outrun the mortars if you're driving.
Okay, so you don't have any. Okay, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether people that are putting Gale 4s on these ships, if it's going to matter in the future. Or
but that's only this target though. It's not to say that that's what's going to happen in the.
Yeah, but it's the only clue that we've got. You know.
Yeah.
We don't really have any other clues besides the tortoise formation. You know. So it might be replaced with the koala formation at any point in time.
Koala. Don't start.
Don't make fun of my koalas. So I don't know. Do we have anything more we want to discuss on the one? This is 124, right? So
Yeah, that was 124. Yeah. Interesting.
Can't believe
The
they
corrosive
cheated on
thing's
the art.
interesting.
yeah,
What the hell did that come from?
yeah.
It isn't,
There's
it isn't the first time they've thrown 3 damage types at us, but it's not.
But normally it's like clouds or something where somebody gets something like that.
Except for the cheese balls, remember them?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
Yeah, because they were putting explosive when it was supposed to be penetrative and corrosive, and they were coming out with straight explosive. So,
Yeah.
They're breaking their own rules.
They're making the rules so they can break them anytime they want, I guess.
Took the words out of the memo.
Yeah. So, alrighty.
Well, maybe the missiles that come off the thing have some corrosive on them as well, depending on what missiles they are. Who knows? Doesn't matter. We're never going to know.
That's the only way. That's the only way, unless you've come up with a really weird build. That's the only way that you got some resistances. If it was a turret that fired it, and that's where you got the resistance from, is from your turret defense.
Well, I've only got explosive resistor on there. Explosive battery on there.
I know, but that's what we explained earlier.
Yeah.
The explosive part of it has nothing to do with your defense. It just has to do with your offense.
Yeah.
So That's the only thing that makes
I don't know.
sense to me.
Well,
I
I have a Praetorian that has nothing but a couple guns on it, I think. I can take it in later for a test and just see what gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Won't have anything but natural defenses.
Okay.
We'll test that later. And let everybody know on Friday.
And that ship has no armor on it whatsoever.
I have a
Right.
couple of
Because like I said
Praetorians.
before, I only had 2 weapons and a couple of specials on that, and I had tokens, so I just built it with. It was like 4 days to finish it off, so I just used my tokens to finish it off.
Okay.
Because I don't have one else, so I thought I'd better throw one together just to see what happens in the 124.
Yeah. It's
I
So
could
now I've got
toss
back
one
building
in.
my silverfish.
yeah. It's interesting to throw this in, and I wish I had Go ahead. I'm going to see if I can move some slides around to figure out how this might there we go. See if this makes any sense in regards to, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm just moving it around, but the tortoise formation, yeah, it doesn't provide any. The next slide, if you want to go to the next slide, Lady Cat. Oops, yeah, you need to refresh. You need to go back and then refresh.
So tonight's Dragon's Milk.
Okay.
Damn it. That's dogs.
Is that what they're drinking?
No, I think the wife's home.
Okay. So I'm looking at the flagship, and I'm not seeing anything that would potentially help with the corrosive damage. If that's actually what we're seeing. I've highlighted on the right-hand side everything that's that might show that evade. So, I'm sorry, not evade, but resistance, and shows any differences between the two.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything that would have this
Well,
all make
I've put my ship into design mode, and there's
Mhm.
nothing there for any defense on corrosive.
Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Well, except for it's your turret defense. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying.
has to be. So it's got to be. So it can't be from the ships. It's got to be off one of those turrets. It's got to be off
Yeah.
the turrets, then, hasn't it? There's that
That's
corrosive
the only
damage.
thing that makes sense, unless the whole thing is just fucked up.
Yeah,
And
that's possible.
Sort of the way I'm thinking right now, but
Yeah.
I was giving them,
Yeah, so it has to be off the
for that
turrets.
to be true, assuming that battle log is actually a reflection of what happened in the battle. Yes,
Yeah.
it would have to be a turret-based weapon that hit you that was providing the corrosive damage. So,
Yeah.
but more what I was talking about as far as if they're adding corrosive damage, why I brought up the FM flag is there something about this that I see that would help us mitigate any corrosive damage in the future, but I don't see it. So, yeah. Okay. So we found some unknowns, or we found some issues, and maybe they'll fix them and or explain them. So, should we move on?
We shall.
They might just turn their head and laugh a little bit.
Yep. After you ask them to cough, Mike, then they'll be okay.
Oh,
Oh,
no, that ain't gonna happen.
oh, okay. Here's the top prizes. They originally called them the new prizes, but the Silverfish upgrade kit was released in the raid, so I just went top prizes. And 60K for the steel plate Silverfish, the upgrade kit, The upgrades are still the same as what we saw with the Silverfish. They're identical. And the Silverfish. So
Yeah, so those 3 items, they come out at 325,000 if you want to get all of those. And that's if you can hold all that.
hold on, what?
Like the upgrade kits. That's as long as you can hold that many.
Upgrade kits, as far as we know, are unlimited.
Actually, they're not.
They actually just won't tell you how many you have.
No, they're not unlimited. Because during the raid, I was trying to pick something up and it said I was full.
It wasn't because you had. Okay, well, maybe you've reached the max.
I reached the maximum amount you could hold.
Yeah, but which is probably the max that was usable.
Yeah, it says 100. What is it? It's 1,000. So each one is 100. So you can hold 10 times 100.
Okay.
Because it stopped at 1,000. Because when I went to click onto an upgrade, it said something like 500 of 1,000, and I couldn't add any more to that. I couldn't buy any more.
Okay.
So 1,000 is the maximum you must be able to hold.
Okay. Which far exceeds what you could ever really actually use from our knowledge at this point in time.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one. This is the Flagship 7-day build time for me. Not a lot of differences not any differences besides the build time. You get down to the special abilities. And Lady Cat, can you click that one more time? And what you see on the left is the steel plate. You see the addition of 15% critical chance, which is not included with the normal ship. And you see an extra 700 of survival in the aura added to each one of them. So it's providing a resistance or survival benefit to the rest of your fleet, which is a good thing. And then on the right, we see complementary UAVs. Your normal ships have a fire from 97 to 130, and they have a 1.5 second stun time. And the Flagship has a range up to 93, so the same as your depth charges. It's got a very long reload time of 14 and a 1 second stun, and twice the damage, which is probably nominal in these targets. So it's sort of a complementary type of thing. And I could see a use for it, but that's the main difference between the two of them, besides the 7-day build time.
Which is still high.
Which means we can't have it for the next raid, even if we really want it.
Well, I think, yeah, and you have the VXP tokens from before. Freeman says 2 days build time to the other flag. I'm not sure what the other flag was, but we were told we were going to get a reduction on these things.
He's referring to the last flag was 5 days. It was 2 days less.
2 day less build time than the other flag, so 2 days more.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if he was agreeing or disagreeing, but yeah, 2 days more.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Especially in a 2 raid cycle.
Yeah, and we got to build the fire brat. So.
Yeah.
But we have to have this in order to do the lowest of the highest tier.
Yeah.
We're still not sure how that's all going to work. I mean, it's put on the recommended list of things to have, but a lot of times we've seen that the flag is not really needed in the first raid cycle. I mean, not the raid cycle, but the first raid of a cycle.
Somewhere today on Discord, somebody said, and I'm not sure who, I don't know if it was Chris or somebody, or I read somewhere that they are tuning the targets to the full fleets.
Okay. Well, you need to provide a name, but yeah.
I'll have to do a search for that. If anybody happened to be on Discord and saw that, let me know the name. I'm pretty sure it was Chris, but I could be wrong.
Okay. And Chris doesn't, I don't think he really knows what's going on with the targets, but he just repeats what he hears. But, okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay. This is the upgrades, which are really overwhelming at this point in time with the amount of crap that we're asked elsewhere. These are the same as we get on the regular ship. It still takes like 11 days or 9, 10, 11 days per ship to do. So
But we couldn't get it done for the next raid either, unless we have a lot of tokens or coin.
So yeah, yeah.
At this point, we're really going to test their. You don't need to do the upgrades to be a full fleet because that's all we have time for without coin. Because coins can't help you, or I mean coins can, but tokens can't help you do the upgrades yet. So,
Unless they have upgrade tokens.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they do, and they're 46 or 48 coins each.
What?
You can buy a day at a time.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, part of the problem with what's going on with this cycle is the fact that there's so many unknowns, and what's been going on continuously for the last little period of time is, and we talked about as far as these upgrade levels, we don't know when the tokens are going to come out for something that we can win in some way, or is it going to be some 1999 offer, or is it going to be whatnot? And I personally don't feel like we have all the tech to build the Silverfish. And so it's just sort of like sit around and wait for them to bring these gifts from down on high. And it's very frustrating. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I don't want to build anymore because I don't know enough to build, because I'm pretty sure we're going to see new tech for the Silverfish that's in a 2 raid cycle. And we're going to see a bunch of the tech that we're thinking to happen is going to drop during the FM after the raid. That's where I think it's going to,
I'm not sure what would make me more angry, not having time to put the new tech on, or having all the old stuff on and go, oh, I guess I wasted all those tokens.
Yeah, it's just the lack of knowledge as far as how to proceed is quite maddening for me. And the fact, that we see at this point, they're willing to go off in any direction, which is sort of what I saw with the addition of Garrison to Pillage, which nobody would have predicted because it doesn't make any sense. We don't have completed ships. They don't have a target that they've been able to test with the players in a large way and figure out what damage it gives, the give and take as far as the damage goes. I'm still baffled why they didn't use the assault hulls and the assault targets that they've got plenty of data on, and they could have made it very predictable for them. And
so we're going to go for the raid.
You might have answered your own question. They had data on it. Went, oh, we're not going to make enough money off those.
Well, they can still tune things accordingly. I mean, it's.
But hiding in the fog, like I don't know which target you're referring to, but like the Saturn ones are old enough now that you could have thrown those in. But it was too easy to avoid damage with those. I'm not sure what they would do to.
Those targets are going to be in the raid, so they wouldn't put them in the pillage right before the raid.
And this one's sold as a catch-up mechanism, or it has been, because you see the tier 7 turret stuff in there and whatnot. So they're sold as a catch-up mechanism. So I don't know. They've lost me as far as what they've been doing recently.
I think they've lost themselves.
Their ketchup is on their coin.
As far as the progression of the game working in any way that makes sense for them or the players, because they had to pull the Praetorian out of the set bonus because they hadn't thought about it yet. Oh, nobody really has these built, and nobody, we haven't tested these targets, and so now we're going to pull them out the day before the raid, like take them out of the set bonus and basically have their points. And it's like they never, I don't understand what they're doing at this point at all.
I was one of those people voicing my displeasure about the Praetorians being in the top set bonus last night on Discord. So I was there to see why they pulled it. But there's a lot of people on Discord that didn't want it pulled because they had built the Praetorians and they wanted it. So you can't please everybody.
That's for sure.
Well, they don't even know what, we didn't, at that point, didn't know what the target was, because the assumption is that the no armor Praetorians that people are running around with aren't the endpoint.
Right.
And like we were showing the 124 earlier. Do we think that's an endpoint? Or is this like a level 80 target? I mean, we don't know what that target means. So yeah, it just feels like they're splicing things together and seeing what sticks.
That badge that we're supposed to be getting for bounty, the one that says "You shall not pass."
Yeah.
It's sort of how I feel the way Kix is treating us. The path is dark in front of us, and they're standing there with their hand up and telling us, "You shall not pass."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Without paying the ferryman.
Exactly. Cover those eyes with coins.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one.
Either way, people are still coining, blitzing, because if you look at the leaderboard, I just had a quick look, and they're over 1 billion points already. 2 of them.
Yeah. And we talked about that on the last show, or show before last, as far as what's the origin of these coins.
Yeah. But these are new ones. This is actually a new one. It's not. I haven't seen at the top ever before. This isn't the original. Like all the other raids and events where there's a specific couple that are at the top. This one's a new one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not in the game, so yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been one of the ones, and I don't know. All right. This is a little bit of Chris's CM diary, explaining the addition of the fire brat. I'm still not going to call it the suppressor unless forced to. And how it works. We talked about this on Friday. Is there much more else to talk about regarding this? It's basically the new haul, which comes out during the raid, supposed to be used within the raid, supposed to have short build times, easily achievable as far as points, and is meant to take out ghost crawlers by dipping down below the rest of them. And we haven't seen how this works, but any thoughts on this? I'm not going to say too much more than what's written here.
Just read white as well as the yellow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to get too scared or too excited about anything anymore. I was happy about Pillage, and then I was unhappy about Pillage. I don't want to think I can do the raid and then not be able to do it, but I don't want to get all depressed and think I can't do the raid, and then I won't do it. So I'm just not going to think about it till next week.
Okay. So they should rename it the Naughty Dragon.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Okay. I'm not sure you know the. Let's move on.
No, let's move on. I don't know. Never mind.
Well,
The next
we,
screen.
we'll see what pops up.
Next
This is better or worse than koalas?
We're not going to get into that. All right. This is what's going to happen in the next raid. In theory, Tier 9 Elite, you need to have the Fire Brat / Suppressor in order to take out the Ghost Crawlers to make it an efficient target. I think what they said, it has a higher bonus. Then we got the, it also requires set completion at each level. Tier 8, I asked a question about Tier 8 and Tier 7 because, and one more click. It appears that the Tier 8 targets are going to be the 100 and the 102 from our last raid cycle. So I did ask Chris earlier today. I'm like, Saturn Nemesis or Proto Apollo. From what I could see, even with Golden Doodle running these targets, he took like 6 or 7 hours during raid using the Proto Apollo hitting the 80s, not the 100 and the 102. So this is going to be fascinating. I think people are going to be able to use the Proto Apollos to hit 100s and 102s. I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. They gave everybody Proto Apollos, but if it's really the 100 and the 102, like he told me, this isn't going to work.
There's going to be a lot of unhappy campers if every tier is up one notch.
Yeah. If this was the 81 and 83 or whatever numbers they are, then I could see this making some sense. But if it's really the 100 and the 102, and the 102, I didn't even, or the 100, is that still hard for the NEM drivers to hit, even if they have it in U3 and all that good nonsense? Or whichever one was the Saturn target. Because I remember there was like multiple ghost crawlers and whatnot. I'm sure people got it down to reasonable damage.
I did it. I used my Saturns to kill the ghost crawlers and all the targets, and then my NEMs to come in and kill the buildings.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you have two tier 8. You have 2 tier 8 halls with flags that are built, and you're required to hit them twice and and now, but you're at the 3rd tier down at this point.
I know.
You're not hitting the top tier.
I know.
So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the raid as far as it's really the 100 and the 102 because I don't plan on having the Silverfish done to any with any stretch. And then I asked about the tier 7, and he says, "Oh, it was the old Bat Ray Razortail targets," which at this point I'm jumping to the assumption are the old S-set targets. I hope it's not. I really hope he wasn't, on it when he told me the 100 and the 102. I would hope for the 81 and the 83.
So what is anybody above the top level going to hit if that's true? That's crazy.
Well, we have a TLC for anyone that can't hit what's outlined in the raid. And the TLCs are, what? They suck. It's probably, what's the prize going to be? A Bat Ray? I mean, that's the way things work at times, So, yeah, they could have taken an easier dive into this whole 2 month raid cycle. It seems like they've taken a harder dive into it, which appears like it might piss off a lot of people if what we are hearing is true.
Well, we're not going to have time to build the flag. along with everything else that we're trying to build. Um, and you can't get the suppressor unless you build the flag, according to what I see here.
And let alone the fire brat.
The fire brat. Um, so the top targets are out, which means grinding last raid's top targets. And those sucked because they took so long. And if they're going to take that long to do and we just get fewer points, it's not going to be worth it for anybody. So, yeah, I think I'd be worried.
Yep. So, anybody have much more on this one? I need to. I'm out of beer. So
Do you want to back up to the
Okay.
124 with the Praetorian? My little more than halfway built, no armored Praetorian took an hour and 7 minutes. Into 124. It's only got 5 or 6 weapons on it.
Does it?
Two countermeasures, and
Do it have any specials at all?
I think it's one special is not there. I think.
Okay, but you did have specials on it.
Well, yeah, it's almost full special. Almost. I could go back and read them off, but I'm just telling you that's a single one was an hour. Those the constant stream from the yeah.
I mean, I'll go back if you want, but what would you read off?
No, it's fine. But I'm trying to think of the ship. The constant stream of missiles that come off of there is just if you stop, you're going to get cremated. From the monoliths, yeah.
Someone said that they look like the old missiles from the Sea Wolves.
Well, I'll tell you what, they don't stop. It kind of looks cool, but doesn't feel cool if you could stop. And then I see some mortars in there and some kind of must-take damaged rockets, kind of like the 120s that come off the Executioner's type. At least that's the way it looked to me. And I didn't keep the results screened.
Yeah, it was Bama. Said the looked like assault missiles.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They used to put on hammers and Sea Wolves.
There were lots of them and long range. So you gotta keep moving. So that's all I can say about that. So didn't want to detract too much, but I tried one all by itself, just by itself. And
what damage did you get? Corrosive damage?
That's what I didn't keep that screen.
Okay.
I clicked too fast.
I hate when I do that.
I do that all the time, but I could do another one later. But I don't know.
So, should we start a GoFundMe for Hefe's cooler? A mini cooler for Hefe or a mini fridge for Hefe. Call it Hefe's junk. Somebody start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, but the those Praetorians in the 120s do them for like 3 minutes. And fortunately, I hope they don't change that, but I know they will.
Well, they might not change it for the current targets, but for the new targets, of course they will.
Oh, definitely. But
Yeah,
if the 120s stay there, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, but they won't.
They won't. No.
They don't want them to do things for free.
No. But that's cool. We know that.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't started Pillage yet.
I'm also and I've only got 10,000 points.
By the time I get home from work.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss all day tomorrow probably, and
yeah, happy 4th.
I got an event on Friday to something on Friday I need to do, and it's just gonna take away from the Pillage.
So David, you gonna treat Hefe to a 12-can refrigerator?
Am I?
No, there's a guy in comps.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right, Ben. They could the Brats out of the 120. Like they locked the Dragons out of the 111.
So,
Has everybody got their Silverfish?
no,
Does everybody know what they're going to put on their Silverfish?
no.
Anybody
I'm
else?
struggling. I got some going in there, but I got 1, 2, 3 specials that I'm fairly confident that are good. But one of them, if I go with a build that I was thinking about, and I'm trying to confer with Hefe about the viability of it, but Facebook hasn't been kind today about sending photographs back and forth. But the build I want to do or was thinking about myself was overweight. So, right now I got the Gallia on it, the Advanced Concussive Payload 3 and the CTX 4, plus a Gale 4 and a Comrade and all the weapons in the rest. And I'm pretty sure it's going to have that new armor. So the test my memory is bad for an old man. I can't remember. Crap. Hold on a minute.
I'm most worried about the engine.
It's the one that's in. I'm sorry.
In the FM.
It's the hydrofoil plating too.
Okay.
And from just what I'm seeing, just by watching and listening and seeing and looking, it looks like most people are putting all 4 of those on there. I haven't done that yet.
I haven't put any armor on mine yet.
But I put the Gallia on, and I'm not sure whether that would be better or the speed thing.
But you also put on the
Thanks
skirmish
for
battery.
there. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, which is really heavy, and I think that's part of your problem.
You think that's part of the problem? Okay, so you finally saw that post then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was just out of the box.
I might go Hyper 30 instead of that, but again, we haven't really seen the targets, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Hyper 30 is like half the weight, so I think it would keep you underweight.
All right. Instead of the
skirmish battery.
Skirmish battery.
But again, I haven't seen the target. But as far as the fact that you were overweight, that might solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it adds projectile speed and combat speed and splash.
Yeah, and I had that other projectile speed special on it, the high velocity rounds, which probably doesn't really need to be there.
I don't think you had it on the one you sent me. So.
Oh, I didn't? Okay.
No. So.
Let me look and see.
You think skirmish battery is the best battery?
No. You just said
no. Well, for the way he had his build, he was overweight because the skirmish battery is like 23 or 24 in regards to weight, so it's pretty heavy.
That was Mike's thing too.
Yeah,
Mike doesn't know how to build ships.
No, until I see the target, or I don't really know how to build ships either, or we get all the tech. So yeah.
So it was like the Gallia, the new. Forget it because I can't remember all the names without looking them up. So forget it. But it did have strike system on it instead of speed 5, I think.
Speed 6, yeah.
Speed 6, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Do we have any more slides, or I think we're close?
I've stepped away.
All right. This is another prize.
It's on the raid, though.
What?
Isn't this on the raid?
Yeah, this isn't the raid. I'm just, we're reviewing the CM diary.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's where he posted it. The octopus.
Yeah. Well, the Strider, the Strider. Click it one more time. This is going to be a interceptor class. It's completely unlike either the Corsair or the Strike Frigate. It is a terrifying force that threatens large sections of the battlefield, but is no threat at all if the enemy isn't pressured by the other hulls in your fleet. So the way I see it, it's tossing off mortars, chasing you down, but forcing you to move. So you need to make sure that the just reading into it, which I've been so wrong about recently, is that you need to have your other ships chasing him in such a way that he can't pay attention to what's going on as far as mortars flying from the sky. Much more interested in your other ships that are trying to hit him, hit him more directly and more quickly. So, and oops, he's not allowed to talk about that. But so,
That's funny.
so, all right, we got another slide. Yeah, more about the fire brat. I don't know. But again, the expectation is to hit the tier 9 elite is you need to win it and then build it and then I guess not skull it. And then, you're going to have a better chance at hitting the tier 9 elite. That's all I get out of this. And there'll probably be an offer to $9.99 to upgrade your, oh my God, yeah, this thing probably has upgrades too. But to get a VXP, yeah, I don't know. They're playing a weird, what's the best way to coin the game at this point in my mind as far as what they're doing. So we got another one. Okay. These are the people that left and whatnot. And I'm just recovering this because we did this on the Friday show, the open mic show, and some people watch one or the other, it appears. So we have lost Robot, who is very visible to the community, an old CM. GD Scargy, who was a PvP game designer. Sally Sue was part of Product, so whatever. Dread Mango, I think, was also part of Product, so whatever. But the GDs, I like to pay attention to. And we have a new CM Gilly. So she has started to make posts as this week. So Chris is still going to be with the company, but going back to his old role of being in charge of both community management and customer support. And also Half Centaur is going to be taking the role of Golden Doodle. As far as the Golden Doodle and Half Centaur are also product. They're not chief game designers. That's still wrong thinker. But they're a good people to actually get ideas in front of because they're ahead of game design. Product is above game design in this game at this point. So, any thoughts on any of this?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to post a link in case anybody would like to join the after show. And feel free to. And we'll wait a couple minutes if anybody has anything to discuss before we end the live broadcast. So, any thoughts anybody has as far as what's going on right now?
A lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
Record number of unknowns, I think.
I have a keen grasp of the obvious.
No, it's worse than normal.
And I think it's part of the plot. Conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. How does this plot end up? Or
I think this plot
does this involve aliens at all?
No, it involves
I assume it doesn't
credit
involve
cards.
koalas, but yeah.
No, not koalas. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
RDF is right. There's just too many unknowns right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can't look at things historically anymore because nothing happens historically the way it used to happen. We have different people. We have different owners.
different objectives.
Yeah.
I don't know if the owners are making a difference. I think it's more the fact that they've changed over a lot of the personnel, and I think at when they sit in their office, their whole idea of like they're probably thinking, why the hell did we make Garrison the next thing in Pillage? And they're probably thinking that to themselves, like, why didn't somebody stand up in the meeting and say, we shouldn't have done this. We don't have any tested targets. They don't have the tech. We don't know. We don't know what we're doing, and they don't know what we're doing. Why are we doing this?
Well, they wanted us to test it for them. I don't see the problem.
Well,
They did exactly what they should have done in response to that. They pulled it out of the set, so now it doesn't matter. It's not a factor, and everybody gets to test this 5,000 point target for them, and they get to tune the damage. And if you participate, you're helping them test. If you choose not to, you still have your old target. It's not too bad, really. In a sense, it's giving them a preview of what the FM is going to look like.
Yeah, but in the FM, the damage is going to be up by 100 times.
Well, no, they tune it to. They're getting an opportunity to see the numbers and tune it accordingly. Is what I'm getting at. Instead of being wrong right out of the gate, this gives them a one weekend look-see at the data. It's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, except for they're probably also going to test it in the FM, where people are going to be a little less, if they introduce it properly, a little less testy about it. Including it into a set, which was their original. Are you going with the idea that their original idea wasn't what they really wanted? They just sort of was like, okay, we're going to throw this out there. They're going to be like, oh, Jesus Christ, no. And then we're going to pull it back.
Well, I think they just came to, probably from Discord and whatnot, late realization that a lot of people didn't have the boat to finish the 3-part set. And they're like, oh, that's probably true. And they probably went back to the numbers, went, oh, that is true. They can look at their own inventory and went, oh, we better just split that out. It probably was Discord people that caused them to realize their mistake at the late hour.
Unless it was just intentional the whole time. Like, okay, we'll play bad cop and then we'll play good cop right afterwards.
They've done that before, but this one just strikes me as they didn't analyze the data ahead of time to see how many people had Brats. And then when 11th hour, somebody said, you know what, less than a quarter of these people have them built, so we better rethink this.
Yeah, no, we haven't given them technical yet, so yeah.
I'm giving them a little credit for actually at the last minute going, oh, this is having a third of this top target be something nobody has built is a bad idea. But at the same time, why didn't they do that analysis ahead of time?
And then they fired the guy that stood up for the community.
Who was that?
I don't know, but
okay, I
was like, what? Somebody we don't?
Whoever it was, he got killed.
It has been a long time since that happened. I was like, wow, that happened like 4 years ago. So I was wondering, like, what?
Mike.
What?
Not you.
Just Mike.
Just Mike, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Just Mike was one of them. There's been some other ones, but I don't know if that was, yeah, I can't get too much into this, but yeah, it's. I didn't realize you were just throwing out a theoretical thing at this point.
By the way, 67 Pillage is the best I can drive, 33 minutes.
Yeah, you can do better.
But just working for a big software company, you
probably
you realize just how seat of the pants. What happens is they get, as you all know, they're getting less and less in touch with how the game works and how us players think, and that's obvious. So they just throw things out there, and then they read the Discord stuff to their credit, and then go, oh yeah, we miscalculated. So I got to give them credit for realigning.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just throwing the conspiracy theory thing out there that they knew ahead of time this wasn't going to work, and now they've given us a bone. You know, they've compromised, even though they already planned their compromise ahead of time.
Oh shit!
You're giving them more credit for strategy and thoughtfulness than I do. I guess I've worked for a big corporation too long. Where big corporations react, they don't usually have plans.
Also,
I don't know. I used to work for a big corporation, but yeah, okay. But we didn't have, we had a different consumer base. But yeah, okay.
also had my second flash crash since this event started. Haven't had a flash crash.
It starts to happen at your age. You know,
Yeah,
a good multivitamin will help.
I try it.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if it's a good one though. You prefaced that, so
Yeah, a decent multivitamin will help those cases.
yeah. Well,
So
I haven't had one all week. Now I got 2 already today. So
okay. Well, I'm gonna post
a dragon's milk.
There you go. I'm gonna post the link one last time, and we can proceed to the after show. And thanks everybody for showing up. We'll be back on Friday, and see y'all then.
Good night, everybody.
Later.